Okay, I figured it'd be a good time to finally go through and see if I can completely do this to help everybody else out. Tonight I will be teaching you how to blup an Arabian on mobile. Up to this point, first of all, you have to get your horse to 6 months old. In order to do that, all you have to do is hit the groom and then feed and then, or groom and then nurse. That's all you need to do. I've gone ahead and I've put this horse in my equestrian center. So you'll see that there's a little X on the right hand side down here. Um, that allows me to leave my equestrian center if I want to. That's a VIP perk that I have. If you don't have that, it's not a big deal. If you're doing an Arabian, horses like a Vanner, something along the lines of cross country type horses where their three best skills are stamina, dressage, and jump, you can pretty much follow along with the same blupping pattern. And then I will show you also how to cheat and switch over. I do have the ability to switch after my horses are 5 years old because it's one of my VIP perks. But in the meantime, we're going to get started. Now, you can choose when you're blupping to do the full games. Typically, I do not. This horse I bought, its skills aren't insanely good. If you do, just you hop in here. I'll do once, but I'm not gonna do it anymore after that because it slows you down and it just wastes your time. Um, but this horse, like I said, I bought. The genetic potential is good, which is a plus. However, the skills are really not that good for a tiered foal. This was pretty much a big miss on a tiered foal. So if I don't fully train it like a skiller, it's not the end of the world. And we'll get one more in here. Age it. You will also notice that I have my fountain. That is what happens when you do well enough and you enter all five, either Western or classical competitions, and you average your average place at the end of the week puts you in the top 100. So that's how that works. We're gonna go forest fully to the max. Now, if you have an Achilles heel, you can do that basically all over again once you take care of your horse. One thing I will do, I'm gonna go up to 8 and 8. That should put me pretty close to the max I can do. About 24. I could actually get one more out of it right now. So we just increase that 8 out of 7. So 7's about the max I want to do until I'm able to feed my horse mash. So we're gonna go through this. Sorry if it seems like there's a lot of downtime there, or there really is, because you can only really talk so much while you're doing this and do so much at a time. I must have found a beet or something in there, or a carrot or something, because that horse had a lot of energy for some reason after that ride. Plus, then I also had an extra one there. But I'll take it. Just saves me time with finishing this horse up. Sorry if you hear a bunch of background noise. I have wonderful kittens that are just that. They're kittens. They get into everything. This one really wants to push its energy up there for some reason. I'm not arguing, but definitely a helpful thing. Now, when you get to this point, I continue to do the forest rides. It just, to me, seems easier. You can go through and you can train other stuff first and then come back to the forest, but I don't know if that really is any helpful. So 68. Nope. We are not up to 84, so that was dumb of me. My writing didn't register, and 10 out of 10 is about our magic number, so we'll keep trying that. We'll keep a general eye on it as we're doing it. Notice how the numbers start dropping pretty drastically for how much skill you gain as you're training. That's just because as the horse gets more trained, you get less and less gains with each time you do it. We'll double check our feeding. Yep, our feedings are good still. The perk to doing the feeding before you go ahead and train is if you add the extra feeding on, it actually gives you a little bit more energy, so you can usually get that extra like half hour in. May not seem like a lot, but when you start getting towards the point where you're ready to be done training a horse, it really, like, it'll cut an extra day off of training essentially. So we are max for force. So for Arabians, what I do from there is I go in, I hit the clock, and I train jump and dressage. I leave my stamina because when I get to my stamina, and then let me show you a little trick to where you can get 4 trainings in on mobile in one shot. I'm going to guess 10. I'm sure I'll be close. But then I can do 2 dressages. I'm at 23, and if I guessed right, which I did, then I'm able to do 4 trainings in a day as opposed to 3. So if you have the fountain and you're able to do that, it just cuts down on, I just did it wrong now, you can't hit the mash to be able to do the 4 trainings in a day. So unfortunately I'm going to fall behind 1 training on dressage. Notice how I didn't add anything to the bar because I didn't want to waste the extra energy basically. So do jump twice, then don't do mash, but do the other 5 items. Get this up to 10, 11 roughly. And then dressage train. Looks like we're good there. And then we keep going on as we are right now, and should be good to go in a little bit here. The perk to doing 4 trainings at a time is it eats up really quick, and I'll show you where that comes into play in just a little bit here once we get some training done. Still good on our 11. I know, this part's really boring. If you're lucky, you've already got your horse up and you're just following along, listening in the background, have me down in the little corner while you're actually training your own horses and you're learning how to do this step by step by following along. That's the trick to doing it. As you can see, my phone's starting to lag a little bit. That is one other big downside to mobile, is even I've noticed when I have direct cellular connection, it always seems like it's just a hair slower for some reason. So we're 1 training away there from being done. And on this round, we'll finish up jump, and we'll probably finish up dressage. That might be a little on the high side, but we'll see. So we are going to pick the type of equestrian center. Now you'll notice I'm a Western, so I'm going to pick Western, but then if you have Western to start, I recommend going in, editing, change it to classical. And I'll show you why I do that in just a second here. Oh shoot, I jumped the gun. Change it back to Western. I have to put all my tack on my horse, Then I can change it over to classical. Now we can go down, change it to classical. And then what we want to do is, before you do cross country, I try to do a few show jump competitions. And the reason why is, when you do show jumping, let me see if I can show you here in just a second. So if you do show jumping, there's where we're at. You're going to get your jump, and it's also, I believe, if I remember correctly, supposed to help with your dressage. So 53.84 and 44.33. So we'll do one just to see. Um, 54.40. So yes, it did help with the dressage. It also helped with the jump. So when you do that, I do 1 day worth, I guess would be probably the best way to say it, of show jump. That helps with getting your wins, especially if you are blupping and you don't have fillers from like a team or something like that. And then from there, what I'll do is I will train cross country until I get no gains. So 6 competitions a day, and usually drink, carrot, groom, feed, and then put to bed and age. And it's like rinse and repeat. Now, because I have the fountain, I could skip the carrot altogether, but I'm trying to show you guys that, because if you don't have the fountain, then it's kind of not much help to just say, oh yeah, just drink, groom, and feed. Well, you might not have enough energy, so I'm showing you with the carrot in there. And we should be getting pretty close to maxing out. Usually around about 4 years, 10 months it maxes out. Sometimes a little bit earlier. It all depends on how well you manage that extra energy and how much extra time you build up at the beginning when you're starting. So now you'll notice I don't have any energy gains or any skill gains while doing that last round there. And the best part is we're at 4 years, 10 months. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down, we're going to hit edit profile. We're going to go back to a Western equestrian or a Western competition horse. And we did that before they turned 5. So that'll help us there. What we're going to do now is we're going to age our horse the next step. And now that we have that done, we're going to go in and we're going to train stamina. So you usually do 2. I usually don't mess with the mash just because I don't want to waste the mash, whether it's my equestrian center or someone else's, but that's also because I have a fountain. If you don't have a fountain, the mash comes in handy. So we're at 11, so I'll try to remember that because that might buy me a little bit extra energy to work with. Yeah, not enough really to do much, but we'll double check. Yeah, we're still good there. Now, the crazy part is when you get done with training the skills as you've trained them, and you get done with your stamina training here, it actually is advantageous to just set your mobile device down go do something for like a half an hour, because it seems like that gives it just enough time, especially if you are doing this by yourself without fillers. And that buys you just enough time basically to get your wins, or a good portion of your wins. And it makes it a lot easier to finish essentially and be done. So hopefully I can get to that point, and then we'll take a little stop point right around there. Usually you want to be able to finish your stamina training by about 10 years old. One thing I will do, I'm going to just do that for right now. I'm going to see if I can find, we're going to turn off the Western Pleasure, and we're going to sort by participants. We're hoping to find a large number, but it looks like it's a pretty slow night, so I may have to wait more than like a half hour to get some competitions that have actually ran. Wow, that's really low for Western Pleasure for an Arabian even. Okay, so we're up to this point. Now, at this point, if you want, another thing you can do is you can go in, and I'll probably do this next, but I'm going to go in, here, I'll show you quick. If you have the ability to cancel, I would cancel your equestrian center at this point. If you don't, you can just stick with it, and you can do your mountain rides later. It's just going to take you an extra couple sessions of mountain rides to do anything. But I'm going to go beach, stamina, and until I get this horse up to 7 years old, I'm going to go through and I'm going to full on try to beach his trot down, hopefully to around the 200 range, roughly. And that'll increase his stamina as long as I remember to pick stamina each time I do it. I have a habit of forgetting occasionally. So, let's see. That'd be 76. So that should be just barely good. There we go. And a little bit of energy there. But we're already to the point where the stamina is higher than the dressage, which is crazy because normally it takes a few turns for that to happen. So it's kind of nice that it happened that quick because it'll make it a little bit easier. But like I said, I'm going to beach until until this horse is 7. And then I'm going to probably just stop and wait for about a half an hour or so. And for you guys, that's a plus because all I have to do is just bring you back. For me, it's kind of a bummer because I got to sit around and wait for a half hour. So hopefully you guys continue to watch, and then I'll show you how we finish this out. Okay, so we're back. Luckily for you guys, it's right away. For me, it's the next morning because I didn't have very much luck with getting wins because there just was nobody on. I even went back, found a couple of my fillers, and kept going. But we're at that point where I am gonna take him out of my equestrian center, and then oh nope, wrong button. All the way to the end under my other horses. Let's see right here. Now, we're going to find a mountain equestrian center. So, if you're trying to blup and you're trying to do it in short order, the best thing you can do, all those, number 3, search. I usually sort by price, and I go 3 days, because I know I'm going to have them in and out. Misty's Haven's the highest quality for the lowest price, basically. And then from there, we're going to start mountain training. And it's full on, just like we did when we were doing the forest training. Sorry, my brain's a little slow this morning. Okay. Double check feed, we're good there. I did do some farming this morning, so if you notice I had a jump in aging points, that's why there's about another 100 aging points sitting there from what I had last night. And yes, you have to farm if you want to start collecting aging points and being able to do stuff like this on a semi-regular basis. Now, one thing I am going to do when I get this male high enough, I actually don't have any really good covers to work with, or any good females to work with, so I probably will end up actually Zeus's bolt lightning bolting this horse, and then have her, when he becomes a her, have her breed with a top male, to just kind of keep pushing the genetic potential up, because I'm right kind of on that cusp of team genetic potentials, so I kind of need to take what I can get at this point. But, oh no, we don't want to go that far. That would be bad. If you do that, my recommendation, just feed them and take care of them the next day. Don't train them. If you ever overdo it and it drops their health and stuff, don't train them, because you will get health penalties if you train them and you're over and then their health isn't up to par. So I'm going to get to where I'm done with this. Then when I'm done with this, I'll kind of explain from there how to proceed for you guys and gals. Getting close. Usually around 8 years approximately is when the mountain riding is done. When you cross over like this, you get your wins. I was very fortunate. I was able to get all my wins basically just overnight. So if you have a team in fillers, it makes it a little bit easier even still. But we are max for mountain riding. So what I will do is I will start probably beaching completely, or just to build her skills. Because if I want to sell her, the best way to build skills for an Arabian, you train gallop. It's the fastest thing for you to train to be able to get anything else. We got enough time in there. I'll put her in a trail class to gain a couple skill points and put her to bed, or put him to bed. So all I'm going to do from here on out is keep aging. I'll keep training other things just to be able to really push the skill level up. This horse, if I remember right, it should be pretty close to 28,000 if I train everything. Something like an Arabian, if you keep your trot and you don't train your trot, they win a lot of Western Pleasure. Lower level Western Pleasure, they win a lot of competitions. So that's one way to really pad your win totals and stuff. If you need to get wins, Arabians work really well for that. So do Vanners. Lipizans work really well for Western Pleasure as well. But hopefully you found this useful. If you can leave me some feedback, any other breeds you want to see me try, maybe something like that, leave them down in the comment section. I'll see if I can help you guys out with training those. I mean, I'm always up for trying to figure it out. So have a great day. Thank you again.